Kanye West. Yeah, yeah. I like that move, Kanye move. I like that move a lot. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet that are throwing little responses back at Kanye West right now, saying Kanye West is a stalker, Kanye West is this, he is that. Somebody put in a reference to OJ Simpson about Kanye. Yeah, they going all down the mudders because Kanye bought a house near the vicinity of Kim. It's not even right next door. I'd actually seen this story earlier and I didn't know to believe it or not because I saw some aerial footage of it. And I said, yeah. But when I saw the responses, that's when I started paying attention. And it cultivates something I've been talking about already. See, Kanye had dated two girls. Two girls. One of them was a French model or some European model not too long ago. And then there was recently, he had been dating a black female model named Venetria. Venetria, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And I'm assuming that Kim knew it is. And somehow or another, she might have got flustered or whatever the case was, which is understandable, and started dating Pete Davidson, which I think that whole thing is a complete total joke. But yeah, this is not a assault on Pete Davidson, but I will say this. You know what type of woman Kim is. Kim draws a lot of attention. Kim lives in a certain ecosphere of stars, and she parties. She has to party. She has to be seen. She has to be out. We all make sense of it. All right? Okay, cool. This is the funny, weird thing about the whole thing. People actually have a problem with Kanye West buying a house across the street in the vicinity on the same block in the same neighborhood. I don't care where it is. You got four kids of mine in the house. See, whether you believe Kanye West is from Arkansas, Chicago, whatever, he's one of us. And that's the first thing comes to mind when I think of him. And I know if it was me and I had four kids by a woman I had been married to previously for a number amount of years, well, then all of a sudden you got men that I don't know driving a Rolls Royce that probably I gifted you. No, chances are I moved down the street from you too, because I want to know at every single point who's in the house with my kids. And we all know that Kanye's not a killer. Kanye's not going to murder Kim. He's not going to take Kim's life over her dating Pete Davidson. That's ridiculous. But the responses that I saw assaulting Kanye West, that's what grabbed my attention because I was like, okay, this goes in resonance with what I've been preaching lately. And I've been talking about men of color being under assault. So they're going heavily at Kanye West, talking about Kanye West is stalking her because he bought a house near her. Kanye West is crazy. Kanye West is da, 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 da. And then many times using past examples, but nobody has brought up the pure simple fact that this man has four kids by this woman. Four kids. I moved down the street too. If you deduced yourself to start dating Pete Davidson, no shot to Pete Davidson. But I live in this area. I know what the typical Long Island, Strong Island guys that are of Italian or Irish background, sometimes they come out. They kind of a little rough around the edges. And it is what it is. You know, Pete Davidson exemplifies that. So based off color alone, try to make it transparency. They're not talking about the woman that Kanye had just finished dating, Venetria, who's a black female model. He was with her. He broke up with her reluctantly. They're not looking at the fact that anything about these four kids is in the house with Kim. You know what I'm saying? These lights still around them, the subsequent shows that each one of them individually has, the media attention that each of them individually has. Those kids should know at every moment, at any time, they can always go to daddy house. If anything happened, Kanye West should be commended for buying a $4.5 million house on Kim's block. Yes, he should. And they never finished up the reconstruction and the refurb of the house they bought together. That's still sitting there. Kim, take your ass home. From all of us. Just take your ass home. You got four kids out here. You about to be a single mama out here in these streets at 40. This is not young Kim Kardashian, fresh and fitted, 28, 29, 31, 32. This is 40-year-old, I got four kids now, Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian screaming she wants to be a lawyer now. I think she can do it. Kim, take your ass home. Make it good. You need to take your ass home too. Some of you chicks are better off just going home. you know, who wants to be a 40-year-old single mama with 4 kids in the game, still trying to sell sex appeal? You got to be crazy. And if you don't think so, that show's gonna be over sooner or later, girls. It's gonna run its course. It's gonna be over. And Kim, what you gonna have left? Kanye West gave Kim portion in Yeezys and sneakers. He made sure she had money. Don't you ask me why I moved down the block. My kids are in the house. You dating Pete Davidson, who's a serial dater, which under the fact that he's white, I'm guessing, nobody wants to bring up. Pete Davidson been out here slinging loose D nationally. Don't believe me? Look up who Pete Davidson has dated just in 2020. Then look up 2019. Nobody has an opinion of that. But if this was a man of color, if he was black or Latin, they would say he was a playboy, he's a philanthropist. I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Philanderer. They would say that about him. But Pete Davidson gets a fucking pass. Why? Because he's on Saturday Night Live. I see a fall if these two get serious and start dating. That's what I see. I see a fall in Kim's career because now you had sanctity with Kanye. Kanye is an international brand. You understand what I'm saying? He's more viewed upon as a businessman than he is a musician nowadays. You had all stand to gain with rocking with Kanye. What do you have to gain out of rocking with Pete Davidson? Pete Davidson, I think, is going to be one of those come here, gone tomorrow type of comedians. It's going to be kind of like Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is not funny in person. You know what I mean? He's not. Jerry Seinfeld has a long-standing syndicated show, the Seinfeld show, that evidently keeps running, but it's not funny. Pete Davidson might get that. He might get a TV show. I don't think it'll run into the longevity of Seinfeld because shows like that, they just don't run their course as long as they used to. And one thing is for sure, I don't think that Pete Davidson is a long-standing act. I really don't. And I don't mean to, I'm not trying to shit on Pete Davidson or nothing like that, but I just don't see the symmetry here. Do y'all? You went from Kanye West to Pete Davidson. Doesn't make sense. You're after something. It looks like you're after something. And I'm not mad about Kanye buying a house yesterday, whenever the fuck he bought it. Because there's 4 kids in the house. You got this new dude riding around in your Bentley that I'm sure Kanye gifted you. And you're running around taking pictures and shit like that. I don't know where my kids are at certain times, whatever. So if I pull up, I want my kids to be able to walk right across the street or in the vicinity of the neighborhood, be like, we're going to daddy house. I don't like mama's new boyfriend. Go to daddy house. There's too many cameras here. Go to daddy house. There's security in there. I got snacks in the refrigerator. Give me a call when y'all all tucked in. I'll send somebody through. Damn right. That's how I do it too. It's the same way I do it. Same way I do it. Protect your kids. You don't know what type of men are around your kids. Do you see these guys nowadays? They're killing kids, molesting kids. I just saw a story like the other day about some shit like that. You know what I mean? Come on. Do you really want to challenge and chastise Kanye West because you're not even throwing all the variables into the conversation. That's the thing that really bugs me because everybody's not throwing all the variables in it. This man has 4 kids by this woman. 4 kids. And they both still relatively young. But Kim, being a 40-year-old single mom out here in these streets, that ain't what's up. Being a 40-year single mother in these streets trying to keep a career going and based in thottery, I mean, you popped up from a porn tape. I mean, let's keep it a buck. You popped up from a porn tape, and there's nothing wrong with that, I've seen people can matriculate that and make it into some money, but you about to be a 40-year-old single mama. Is that what you want? Dating Pete Davidson, riding around like you 16 years old, going to the movies and shit. Come on. And you want to be a lawyer? What are you going to defend? The rights of fucking animals? You know what I mean? Take your ass home, Kim. Go home. Go home. If you don't do nothing else, go home. You're going home, work that shit out with Kanye. I got 4 kids. You about to be a single mom. Y'all doing this co-parenting shit. That's not Kanye wanted, and I know that's not what he wanted. He made some mistakes. Y'all young. Get it together. Cancel that shit. You know what I'm saying? Cancel that shit. Go back home. Kim Kardashian, if you ever made a mistake in your life, you're making it right now by leaving Kanye. Brought Kanye, you have stock in Yeezy that Kanye gave you. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all don't know that, Kim Kardashian has stock in Yeezy. You understand that Kanye put there for her specifically and his kids. This is longevity and and you know what I mean? Because he knew one day that thottery online that she do is going to be over. That brand comes and goes. Everybody sells sex, but as you get older, you got to keep selling that sex harder. And remember, there's a new set of chicks coming each year. You know what I'm saying? So it gets hard to sell that sex brand after a while because there's a new fresh set of chicks that's 18 with perky butts and perky breasts coming on the scene. After all these 35, I got 2 kids already, you know what I mean? Chicks, and you got a C-section scar that usually you cover with a one piece, whatever the case may be. Ladies, I ain't judging you. I'm just telling you what it is. It's a fresh pair of cheeks coming every year. So the point is, Kim Kardashian is not the only cookie shop on the block anymore. There's hundreds of thousands of girls, let alone just on Instagram alone. See what I'm saying? So she's the template for the it girl, but she ain't necessarily the it girl anymore. They're always looking for the next it girl, even though her timing is small nowadays in the spectrum of many others. Girls like Buffy the Body and girls like that, you'll never see those girls again. You'll never see them in that. Even Kim Kardashian, you'll never see another one like her again. It's too normal now. She's living off the trophies of the way media was in the past. She's living off those trophies. She's not living off the trophies of the current. If she was living off the trophies of the current, she would be mediocre and regular. You know what I'm saying? So, Kim, I'm telling you, as a 40-year-old upcoming single mama, take your ass home to Kanye. Don't worry about what everybody's saying on social media. Oh my God, he's a stalker. He bought a house that's 4.5 million. Oh my God, this is cringeworthy. I don't know about Kanye, man. He's giving me real OJ vibes. Oh my God, Kanye wants to live in the same neighborhood and street as his kids. He's obsessed with her. They try to make it about Pete Davidson, not about 4 kids that he got with this woman. And I see through it, and everybody else that think like Kanye see through it. But for some reason or another, y'all want to vilify this man and make him look like he's crazy because he want to make sure his kids are safe. Kanye grew up with his parents, his mom and his dad. Remember, his dad was just recently in one of his videos, along with Kim Kardashian's family and Kris Jenner. Can't make this up. Y'all seen the video. So I asked and pondered the question, is it better for Kim to go home or keep on her trajectory with Pete Davis letting them drive her Bentley? Boy, you look like a wannabe playboy. You ain't Leonardo DiCaprio. That's who you want to be. You want to be Leonardo DiCaprio so bad, but you can't be. Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he do what he do, I'm putting some lotion on my face, y'all pardon me. Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he do what he do, Leonardo DiCaprio got class. You see what I'm saying? He looks classy. Leonardo DiCaprio has a certain decorum about him when he walks in the room or whatever. Your vibe gives the loft that Long Island type of vibe. Pete Davidson is kind of like half a dope head, half a meth addict, dirty grunge. You know what I'm saying? And some girls go for that. I mean, maybe she's looking for her own Scott Disick, or maybe she's looking for whoever her sister is dating nowadays. I forgot what the dude's name he's dating now. That's from one of the bands. He's got tattoos and everything all over him. Maybe that's the thing you want to go for now. Let's try this angle. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't gonna work like it's gonna work with the rappers and everybody else. It ain't gonna work. Mm-mm. They're not gonna accept you into that world. I can tell you that right now, sweetie. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, get these fucking posers out of here." That's the first thing they're gonna say. They gonna rush you out the door if you try to go that angle. So I would suggest to you try to go the rocker angle or the rebel looking angle because that's not gonna work. Kim, go home. Go home, Kim. No, seriously, go home. Call Kanye. Tell him, look, yeah, all this stuff ain't working out. Now I ain't sleep with him. Can I come home? Go home, Kim. This is not gonna work out for you. You're gonna be out here like Benifer. It took them up to their upper 50s to work that shit out. That shit happened 10, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And they still ain't sure. Remember Benifer? Benifer. Anybody old enough to remember that stupid shit? They were calling J Lo and Ben Affleck Benifer. I said, whoever fucking made up that name needs to be brought to the stake. You know what I mean? Figuratively and jokingly. It's sad, man. People are actually online. This some of the responses. They're comparing it to OJ, him buying a house by Kim Kardashian, his baby mom. They're comparing it to stalking. They're comparing it to any negative connotation they could possibly use. You know what I'm saying? All in effect to somehow tarnish Kanye. A lot of people don't like Kanye. Kanye's ambiguous. Kanye's ambitious. Kanye's observant, and he's very successful. And a lot of people don't like that, especially if you know, they really don't like that. And they will unilaterally try to take that away from you when you in position at the same authority would never do that to them. In some cases, you would show them the opposite and have empathy for them. Well, there's a crowd that wants to tear down Kanye, I believe. And it's all about power. It's a lot about a little bit of everything. Because the role with this little small ass story and the hundreds of thousands of responses that this shit has gotten now is just crazy to me. Oh my God, he bought a house. See, there ain't nothing going on in rotation in the news if y'all can pay attention. And so people are trying to take little ass stories and make them exciting because we ain't going to the clubs no more. We ain't really filming shows in the nation like we used to or whatever, whatever. So little small micro things now appear to be big because in the grand scope of everything, there's nothing going on. You understand? I don't call this a big deal. I don't see anything within Kanye West to say he would do any type of harm to Kim Kardashian. I don't think that he's trying to stop her from dating anyone because he was just previously dating someone, which was Zanitra, a black female model, which he has since broken up with. I don't think that Kanye West has any ill intentions other than making sure that he monitors his kids. See, he trying to present it like a Chi-Town dude. Yo, my kids, my kids, all them dudes out there talk like that. Lil Durk, all of them talk like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mantra they live by. So I think it's more some Chi-Town Midwest shit that he's more intricate on versus stalking someone and the shit that people are saying. But one of my more question is, why are people so easily and preemptively ready to point in that direction about a man of color? I've never seen anything in the news about Kanye beating on her, trying to kill her. She's never alluded to any of that. If anything, I've heard Kanye say, I'm trying to kill myself. You know what I mean? If in the resonance of all of it, So I don't get that, how that was the first, that was just the first option to go to by many people. And I saw so many people trying to break it down. I watched maybe like 3 or 4 videos and they all included some feminine sounding man and a woman. And the woman was always giving her value point of it, but she was never underlining why. You know what I'm saying? Why did they break up? Why do you think that? I think the pressures of this music business, which I've been a part of, it tires you the fuck out. It tires you the fuck out. It really does. After a minute, you just like, some people, they get musically challenged by it. Some other people, I wonder what I'm doing. I'm throwing some lotion on my face. Some people, they get musically disturbed and can't, they get these little moments where they just, you go blank, you're not creative or anything like that. And then sometimes you get these spurts where you're ultra creative, like I've had recently. I've been writing shit and I didn't even know what the fuck, where it came from. I was listening to a beat one day and I was just like, the lyrics just come to you. It's just weird. Like it happens in intervals. It really does. The good stuff anyway. I don't think Kanye's out of juice. I think Kanye's got a lot more career to go. I mean, I think it's very important that this man somehow or another release to the press and tell the press, hey, listen, this was my intention, because right now we're allowing people online to give their interpretation of what they think Kanye is doing and why he did it. And even furthermore, who is the sicko motherfucker that's that nosy that's going around finding out who bought houses wherever? Like I saw an aerial view of the house. I know what the house looked like. I know what block is on. Only thing I do is put scoot 3, 4. I ain't gonna tell you my whole shit, but I can piece it together where it's at Cali. My sister lives in California. So I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with people? You know how voyeuristic that is to be flying over somebody's house that you don't know in a helicopter. Do you know how voyeuristic and imposing and invasive that is? That is just like sick, man. Like all this to get a picture, to get some information or something like that, to get some views and shit like that or whatever. I talked about Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast as of last month. He's a YouTuber if you don't know him. Mr. Beast as of last month buried himself alive for 52 hours. And I didn't know this shit. He did it on YouTube. It's one of the most viewed YouTube videos this year. There's nothing going on in society. So you're seeing people take little small stories and things that we normally wouldn't fucking pay attention to if everything was pre-pandemic and roll it up and try to fluster it out. And people are sitting back and they got extra time to think about these little creative little sentences they gonna say, these little cataclysms of fucking jolts of where they think they're smart and piecing things together and giving these as responses to two motherfuckers they never met in their life, who was Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. See, we don't know why Kim and Kanye split up. Only thing we got to go off of is what Kim say and what Kanye say. And then you try to group in the opinion, oh, I heard this, da, da, da. And I'm taking up for the artist. I am. I really am. I'm taking up for the artist because it's a voyeur type of mentality that leads people to this type of shit right here. The voyeuristic mentality of people in society online, this in general. This occurs for people doing these follow me home crimes and all this shit that's going on in society now. It's people going out of the fucking way to motherfucking impose themselves on others, whether it be their personal life, whether it be that where they live at, like I saw this man flying over in a helicopter, whatever the fuck it is. You're seeing people at an all-time high in society become invasive of other people's private spaces. And that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Rain? Thank you very much, man. It's old school. This is the old, I said old school. This is one of my old hats. I had like five of these motherfuckers. I really did. And I ended up losing them. So I got one of them back. But I've had it for a minute now. But I don't wear it out too much because this motherfucker is made of wool and it starts stinking inside. You know what I'm saying? But I got the spot down in Brooklyn. I get these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me. I get you one too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I know some people. But yeah, man, thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that. This invasiveness and invasion of privacy in people's personal lives is kind of sicko nowadays. Like we, why do we know that? See, this is the question nobody's asking. Why do we know that Kanye West bought a house on the same block as Kim Kardashian? Why do we know? It's because it took somebody that was digging into Kanye's life to figure that out. And then people will turn around and ask, well, why is this man acting crazy in public? Because y'all been in this business every motherfucking day of your life. Y'all in this business more than your own. Keep wearing them. That's a handsome look. Thank you very much. I always have worn this hat. I had five different colors. My favorite one is the chocolate one, and I'm gonna try to get the other one back to tan one when I get it up. So matter of fact, y'all want to see me in more hats? Dash App is in the description box. $ STRINGERBELL80. Show some holiday cheer. You know what I'm saying? To donate. I'm here every day. I have at least 3 videos up a day or whatever. I dedicate this to it. I'm a full-time YouTuber. But I want to talk about this subject today because it really, really kept coming through and reverbing with me. And this was the final straw when I started looking at responses on the tweet. You know, I was just like, yo, that's crazy. And it wasn't on Kanye West's feed. It was on a feed about Kanye West, which is totally different. You know what I mean? So these are a group of individuals that selectively are talking about Kanye West just because, just because. And I'm like, come on, man. You fucking serious here? Like you don't understand why this man would buy a house near his baby mom, his aunt, soon to be ex-wife, the mother of his 4 kids. I'm moving down the fucking block too. You're lucky I don't move right next door. I want to see, and if my babies need to go anywhere at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, see if there's a fire and your house is on fire and mine is not. I need to know you had somewhere to go. Now, Kanye has a multitude of houses. He owns houses in France. He owns houses in England. You understand what I'm saying? And the $4.5 million house ain't a lot to a man that's worth close to $1 billion. That's a drop in a bucket. Kanye's worth close to $1 billion. Check Forbes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always be laughing. Motherfuckers be talking about little money or being in the corner store or some shit like that. Like, yeah. First of all, when you doing like this and counting off, killing off money like that, first thing it tells me you don't have a bank account. Second thing it tells me is you're not used to having money. Third thing it tells me is you don't invest in anything. Because people that invest, they're very cautious. I'm very frugal. I learned that from my mother. That's one of the traits from my mother I still exhibit to this day. I'm very frugal with shit. I know how to do things and bend things around and make the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Very much so. Very frugal. Not a opulent searcher. I've had opulence. It's fun. But investing is more fun. So make sure you invest in me. $ STRINGERBELL80. More so to move over from the story. This story is about a black male. Make no mistake about it. Okay. They're trying to say, basically, in society, in these headlines, that Pete Davidson is a better fit than the actual father and ex and soon to be ex-husband of this woman. They're saying Pete Davidson is a better fit because Pete Davidson is white. That's what they're trying to say. Meanwhile, we want to erase and totally eradicate the fact that Pete Davidson has been a fucking and talented as he is. I don't want to take away his talent from him. And maybe one day we'll meet each other. And I don't hate you. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You are a serial motherfucking dater, okay? You've dated numerous women and been attached to them for a couple of months here and there, and then you move the fuck on, okay? And the numbers show it. Only thing you gotta do is put in who was Pete Davidson dating in 2020. Then put in who was Pete Davidson dating in 2019. Then put in who was Pete Davidson put dating in 2018. Each one of those years, you will see multiple women, whether they be stellar acts and stars or whether they be just some normal chick. He was a serial dater. Now, this is a woman that's been off the market for years now, going after a serial dater. So you're going to get serial dater responses. You understand what I'm saying? This man's a serial dater. Now, I don't know why nobody wants to point that out. I think if had it been Kanye, they would have pointed that out. They seem to be pointing out the white girl that Kanye was dating, but they don't point out the black girl that he was just recently dating, which was Venetria, who this was their second time going back to dating. You see what I mean? It's all in the clause to make this person look, and this the dynamic. And a lot of people don't understand the argument. The dynamic of the argument really just exists between blacks and whites. It really doesn't have inclusive of anybody else. Anybody else that tries to get into the argument, you're there and get this brown nosing. And even the people that you're trying to support know you're there brown nosing. And sometimes they'll allow you to brown nose, and sometimes they won't. Just depends on who you're dealing with. The real ones won't allow you. Long story short, I just want to end this one real quick because I know what's in this. I know what's brewing in this. And a lot of people yet think, why would you choose this topic to talk about? Because I see the chuck. I see the bullshit. And the bullshit is a lot of people are showing their true colors by supporting a serial dater that appears on a comedy show who is young, who is enticed by many of different women on a daily basis, has shown that he's a multiple dater. Kanye has dated a woman that he previously, both of these women that he was dating, previously had an attachment to, not sexually even necessarily either. Nobody is pointing this out about Pete Davidson. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's real. I think the reason that people like it is because they see this white woman run into a white man's arms and neglecting the fact that this woman has 4 half black children. Nobody wants to bring that up. Because if you bring that up in the conversation, that's where the conversation goes somewhere else. And then we see your gaslighting. That's your gaslight. Let me respond to that shit, right? I got you. And I did this live right here because I wanted to make sure folks that I talk to, y'all know this. When y'all see this story, you know what I mean? Y'all take the story for what it is. And what the story is, it's a bullshit, B. It's a bullshit. It's about really, if you really want to put in perspective, making one group of men seem superficial over another group of men, even though this motherfucker is riding around in her Bentley that Kanye probably bought. That's the irony in the whole shit. So Kanye, good job buying you a motherfucking house next to Kim. I would have done the same damn thing. Take care of your kids. Make sure your kids on point. If you got to buy a second house on the same street, do that too. Be like, look, this for the boys and this is the girls. Get real funny about it because, hey, you can afford it. You're almost a billionaire. It's for Kim. Kim, take your ass home. Go home. Go, look at me. Go home. This whole booty shaking and being in this magazine, that's just gonna last for you. Maybe like you got a good maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years with it, right? But sooner or later, things are gonna start to droop. Even Halle Berry, she started fading and looks a little bit. You know what I mean? You start getting older. So you can't do that type of sultry, seductive, look at my butt every 5 minutes. At like over 40, look at my butt is like, hey, I need some attention. That's how I translate to men. You know what I mean? Like at 40, your butt should speak for itself. Your butt been on these streets for a couple of years now. It knows what they're attentive to and what they're not attentive. You know what I mean? Your butt done seen a couple of nights in a different bed, somebody else's sofa, whatever the case may be, back of a car. You never know. I don't know. But your butt has known what men like and don't like. You understand what I'm saying? After 40. So there's no reason that you need to be enticing men just via your butt at 40, but so many women do. There's a whole tribe of them on the internet. Yes, there is. And they do daily pictures and uploads for you. You know, Kim, go home. Kim Kardashian, just go home. Go home. Okay? Go home. You got 4 kids. What the baby look like he's still, you know what I mean, getting breastfed then. Yeah. Go home. Y'all can work this out. Trust me, it's better this way. You and Pete Davidson are not gonna. Not, all right, y'all. Cash App link, PayPal link in the description box. Also, a purchase link for my song. I'll talk to y'all later. Kim, go home.